Top of the morning. It's 7:05 a.m. at the White Mountain Trailhead. This is Provo City. The goal today is to hike the Provo Peak summit. This is one of the trailheads for it, and it's a difficult one. We'll see how it goes. Okay, let's begin. So this is halfway to the Y trail, which we'll see shortly. And this is a good view of Utah County. At about every 1/10 of a mile there's a checkpoint, and usually you have a nice bench to rest and sit on while they give you words of encouragement. So close. Bottom of the Y. Well, we're going up. This just happens to be a stop on the way. Oh, let's look at, you can see BYU there, the stadium. It sure is, as we'll see. Here it is, with benches that extend that way. We can admire the Y, but more importantly, the view. And that's Utah Lake. So I made it to the top of the Y, and the trail to the Y Mountain summit is that way, as well as Provo Peak, which is much further. I'm 1.1 mile in. There's about 5 to go. I continue on the traverse between White Mountain and Maple Mountain. Maple Mountain being this one. And the trail goes that way. And we're going that way, yeah. All right. Check this out. And behind me, what's this? Just clocked in a little over 2 miles here. View check. And actually, I passed over a little cave there, right there. And we're seeing some pine trees. Pine trees in the north tend to concentrate on the north sides of the mountains. All right. Aspen trees only grow at a certain elevation. Here they are. And look at that, we're in the middle of a meadow. And here begins the Aspen Grove. It's October 24th, so we're past prime for fall colors and just fall leaves in general. Most of them have fallen. Prime week was, well, a few weeks ago actually. Varies year to year. And these are beautiful, with the exception of that crap. People love scribbling their initials in the trees. This is the fork. Left goes to White Mountain Summit. That was the first summit I ever did. And right, or straight, depending on how you look at it, that takes you to Provo Peak. Here we go. Up to this point, I've seen not a single other soul. The White Mountain sign is the last place where I saw anybody. Just realized that up to this point, around 3 miles in, I haven't drunken, imbibed an ounce of water, though I did have plenty of fluids before I left the house. However, dehydration does sneak up on you, so it's good to regularly drink water. But there's no streams on this trail. All right, here we are. We're at a fork. This is the trail that I'm taking. This goes to the Provo Peak trailhead for the summit. And this is the Slate. This takes you to the Slate Canyon trailhead. So what that does is it wraps around. It'll take you around this mountain, which is called Maple Mountain. So there is another way you could have gone here, and it's through this trail. It's a little bit longer, but I believe a little bit less maintained. That's why I went on this one. Anyways, so we're going that way. I think 1 or 2 miles left to get to the trailhead, not the actual peak. I don't know, man. I've given up counting at this point. I'm just going, chugging along. So here we go. Oh, these are the best. The trail is in a canal shape. These are good calf burners, man. You can either wide stance this, or you can walk like a chicken. That is Timpanogos. And the valley is behind these mountains there. First patch of snow I've encountered so far on the trail. Mad props. Or I tip my hat to the gentlemen who come out here with the necessary equipment to saw through these logs and clear the trail. Okay, we're on the other side. You can see the back road that goes through here. It's unpaved. And the trail goes that way. Provo Peak is right there. That's the goal. Onwards. It's a beautiful day, even with the clouds. So we're descending to the Provo Peak trail. This will be fun to climb back later, huh? Looks like they're, well, let's see. There's a truck there. I believe that is where the trailhead is. Okay, I finally made my way to the Provo Peak trailhead, which is right there. There's the trail, and here's the view east, because sun rises from the east, sets in the west. All right. Oh, okay. I thought it was some kind of little creek. No, it's just a ditch. All right. Now begins the hike to the summit. This is about 2.5 miles around there, round trip. And this is the steepest and most difficult part of the hike. I took a wrong turn. I missed a fork. So it wasn't too bad though. I think it's just 1/10 of a mile. Something like that. Anyways. Look at that. Continuing to make my way back to the fork that I missed. That's what happens when you listen to Zach Brown Band. You get too carried away and distracted. So this is the fork. That's a dirt road that continues up for off-road vehicles. This is a trail marked by a very, very obvious cairn that I missed. But when you're just looking down, trying to breathe, yeah, you can miss things. And also, Zach Brown Band. All right, trail's that way. Let's go. Okay, I'm in the final stretch now. It should be less than half a mile, I think. Peak's up there. Up to this point, my God, it's just been straight up. Ooh, but not there yet. So, all right, let's go. Alas, some scrambling. Yay. And that's the sign. I just summited Provo Peak. Let's do a panorama because this is beautiful. Crazy good views. So the Provo Peak summit is at 11,008 feet. I will validate, and if there's a correction, I'll put that in subtitles later. My God. No hike has left me more humbled than this one. Some landmarks in the distance, that's Timpanogos. And this right here, this wedge in between these two peaks, is known as the Rock Canyon. It has a back road that takes you behind all that. So that's Y Mountain. That's Maple Mountain. I came from with between there. And this is the view to the south. That's Spanish Fork. Santa Quinn's down there. I believe that's called West Side Mountain, something like that. And let's look behind here just again. Not much vegetation going on down there. I did not mention earlier, but that is called East Provo Peak. And where I'm staying now is Provo Peak. Alright, I am heading back down now. I'm gonna try not to slip or get any injuries on the way down. It's a little sketchy. Got gloves for both cold and cushioning. So, alright, let's do this. So that's the direction we're headed. And in the distance, you can see the trailhead for this monstrous peak. There's a neat view of Slate Canyon right there. Small patch of snow here from 2 weeks ago. And then nothing. I just finished summiting Provo Peak. Now we're gonna go to Y Mountain Trailhead. Another 4 or 5 miles. Whoopee! Alright, about to turn in the canyon. One last look. That's Provo Peak in the middle. I'll never forget it, that's for sure. And home is that way. Let's go. Just a walk in the woods. Now that I'm returning, I am finding this was the easiest part of the trail. So, fortunately for me, the rest of my journey is downhill. It's all downhill from here. Ooh, I like it when the sun does that. Oh my God. How beautiful is that? I'd be remiss not to showcase the scenery with this lighting. Wow. Timpanogos. that is the Provo Peak that one from that angle could see into this canyon a little bit. I am back at the fork, onwards to the Y. Ooh, pretty. Making my way out of the canyon. Not too long now. Civilization is nigh. Alas, the top of the Y. And I'm currently the only person here. Now let's just take a moment to marvel at the scenery. I finished Provo Peak via Y trailhead. Can you believe it took me 2 weeks to get around to doing this? Alright, so this was the most challenging hike I have done to date. It tested the limits of my stamina, so let's get into the metrics. The total round trip distance was 13.4 miles, the elevation gain was 6,640 feet, and the moving time was 7 hours and 37 minutes, as shown on the screen there. But from the beginning to end, I took 10 hours. I took a half-hour rest at the summit, and on that final mile ascent, I did take several breaks. Final ascent to the summit is an elevation gain of 2,670 feet over a distance of 1.35 miles. Past the cairn at the fork of the mountain is a straight incline up with multiple false summits that will taunt you and make you question why you hike. Never felt so relieved to have reached the top on this one. If you're interested in this hike, here are a couple tips that you might find helpful. Bring an abundant amount of water. I brought 3 liters and ended up depleting the last of that on the descent down Y Mountain. It was October 24th. The temperatures ranged between the 40s and the 60s during the day. I never felt hot during the trek during the summer months. You can imagine the temperatures are higher, so I would definitely recommend bringing an extra liter or 2. Finally, proper hiking shoes with good traction are a must on this one, especially for the descent down from Provo Peak. And that's a wrap. I hope you enjoyed the video. I enjoyed the hike. Type 2 fun. See you next time.